Ladies and gentlemen, greetings. It's Total Spotfest time. We got an action-packed show for you. We have new champions. We have the Diamond Mine is officially open. We have much, much more NXT review. This is Total Spotfest.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome to Total Spot Fest. I am JJ Brownlee, accompanied as I am every time by my co-host, Mr. Jamie Faulkner.
Hello.
And that's all you get, just a hello. Hello. It has been a busy week for us at work, so we're gonna keep the energy going though. So thank you for joining us. This is Total Spot Fest. This is normally our AEW hour, and starting next Thursday, we'll get back to talking about AEW on its regularly scheduled night. So it's weird because it's like, I don't know if you feel like this, JB, but I get off work on Wednesdays, and it's like I don't know what to do with myself a little bit because I'm like. It's like, well, I'm going to ride my bike and watch wrestling. Oh, wait. No, I'm going to.
No.
Yeah. I mean, there's hockey and NBA to keep you happy, but still, it's just like, where's my AEW? Coming soon. So we're going to talk about last night, or 2 nights ago's, Tuesday night, NXT. So we have a bunch of stuff happening on NXT. We got some news we're going to get to. We have some local news we want to talk about for those of you here in the Kansas City area. Happy times are ahead. Happy times.
Yes.
We're going to start with that here in just a second. So just want to say, if you are, check us out on YouTube. Thank you for it. If you want to join the conversation, you can just give us a comment down below. If not, you can holler at us at Total Spot Fest. You want to holler at us individually. I am at JMoney1536. He is at JFaulkner56. That is how we communicate. As always, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, all the things. Do it.
That helps us a lot. The
It
like
helps
and the subscribe
us. It helps us
a lot.
quite
please.
a bit. And also tell your friends too. Pass it along. So that's what we got. So we're gonna get right to it. We don't want to take up too much time lollygagging around here. So Jamie, let's get to the meat of the matter. Why don't we?
Okay, well, the meat of the matter is Maki Ito's got a brand new fucking shirt, and it's amazing.
Really? You need to send me
It
that
literally
link.
hot off the presses. You can't really see it on my phone. I don't even care. It's just
Cannot
her
see shit.
with
Can't
going
see
like
shit.
this. She's going like this. And it says Maki Ito, and then it says "fuck you, simp" on it.
All right, we're buying those shirts.
I might be buying that shirt.
Might be.
Oh, okay, fair. Okay, so sorry, that's not really the.
I don't know.
the
That's
heart of the matter.
that's a headline for you right there. If anybody knows us, we're total simps over here for Maki Ito.
We are simps. I think the wife's even a simp. Like we all love the Maki Ito in this house.
Really?
Yeah,
That I
yeah,
did not see coming. Okay.
Yeah, well, she is my wife, so I get that.
Touche. Touche.
All right. Well, anyway, the official great news is our friends at Journey Pro. We have been talking about how they are coming back. They have an official date now, July 30th. Their show is going to be called 78 Weeks Later.
So
and
good.
Tickets go on sale Friday, the
Tomorrow.
25th of this month.
Tomorrow.
Yes. We are buying tickets.
Oh, yes, we are.
We've already decided this. We're JJ, myself, and we're gonna bring the young boy Nick along, even though he doesn't want to do our show anymore because he thinks he's too cool or something like that. But seriously, we still love him. We miss him.
Yeah. He's trying to be a rock star. Let him be.
Yes, but we are buying two extra tickets, not one, but yes, two extra tickets, and we will be giving them away to one of our lucky listeners who happens to be semi-local. If you're willing to make the trip, we'll buy the first round of your beverage because they have coffee and they also have alcoholic beverages. We'll buy at least the first round. We'll have a good old time. We'll hopefully start a chant together. It'll be good.
We're starting chants together. Don't you worry about that.
Yes, and if you've never seen the Besties in the World, which I hope we're going to be there, we will do everything with you. So we are hoping to get an interview with one of the owners of Journey Pro here shortly and talk about the upcoming event and profess our love for the local show. And we really want it to be back and be better than ever.
It's going to be great. We're about 5 weeks out. So we're about 5 weeks out from it. So we'll keep you updated, and we'll definitely announce it on Twitter and everything, so you guys know. But it's just so we got time here, but it's going to be glorious. Jamie, what are we going to do to give these tickets away, though? Well, I figure we got to come up with something good, right?
We got to come up with something good, and I kind of want to hold it for a later conversation that we're going to have.
Okay.
As a possible idea, because there was something that happened actually 25 years ago yesterday that I think would be a nice little tie-in.
I do remember you. I know what you're talking about. So okay. And if you're familiar with Jamie at all, you can pretty much guess what he's talking about. It's not too far of a reach. Let's be honest.
For me, it's not at all. It's not even a reach around.
It's not. So it's gonna be a great time into July. It's gonna be kind of hot, but it's gonna be a Friday evening in the West Bottoms. Like I said, it's kind of this industrial area has kind of become like a hipster, urban redevelopment sort of. It's a real cool area town. Mm-hmm. It's right off of downtown for those of you who aren't from Kansas City. And if you're thinking about maybe you live in Wichita or you live in Jeff City or you live, in Omaha, you're like, I don't know if it's super easy to get to now. It's super easy to get to now. It's going to be awesome. The place it's at's really cool. I still don't know. We were talking about this when it got announced because me and Jamie, we took about a half an hour out of work and we just geeked out.
Yes.
We're unsure. If you go to Journey Pro on Facebook and on their Twitter, they have a video when they did the announcement because they're coming back. They were at Blip Roasters and they did a little walk around. It's kind of hard to gauge though, because it's a giant warehouse turned into like a cafe, right? A coffee shop. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to gauge how many people are going to fit in there after a ring is inside. Plus, you got the bar there. They're going to move the tables. So we're thinking between 300 and 500 ish. Mm-hmm. That might be a little. I don't know. I remember like at Kansas Hall, they were getting around 400 at the end there. I think the highest I got was like 600 for the Christmas show
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Which it sure is.
Which is the best Christmas movie. And if you disagree with that, sorry, you're wrong.
Fight me.
So, anyway, it's going to be very interesting. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Jamie, since he gets up before I do, he is getting online ordering tickets for all of us, and we're gonna front the cost for two of you to join us. And it's going to be fantastic. If you haven't been to a local wrestling show, by the way, support local wrestling, please. If you're not from Kansas City, go to your local wrestling show. There's local shows opening up. I see them on Twitter all over the place. Oh.
Yeah, like St. Louis has got St. Louis Anarchy, and they have Glory Pro coming in there. Minnesota's got a few of them. New Breed Wrestling, semi-local.
Right.
There's a ton of them down in Oklahoma and
Texas got a lot. They got Mission Pro, which you need to go see. Chicago's got a lot. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. There's stuff down in Georgia. I've seen stuff down in Carolina. California eventually is going to have some. They just opened back up, finally, California did. So you'll be seeing stuff in L.A. and San Diego as well. And it's interesting because all we have right now is a date and a fantastic name.
Yes,
fantastic.
Don't even know who's going to be there, and quite frankly, I could give
doesn't matter.
A damn.
We have some local guys which we assume are going to be there, of course. We talked about our favorite heel is
Jeremy Wyatt.
Jeremy Wyatt lives in Kansas City, so we assume he's going to be there. Gary J lives over in St. Louis. A lot good. See, St. Louis Anarchy and Journey Pro actually entered into. They've always had a good working relationship, but since Journey Pro came back, they've actually entered into a partnership of sorts. Where because Journey Pro was big on Twitch, and so they brought St. Louis Anarchy and they made a separate Twitch channel where they're going to stream basically, say Anarchy pay-per-views, Anarchy shows on Twitch, and they're going to do the same for like some Journey Pro stuff too. So it's Journey is it Journey Pro to Anarchy or Anarchy to Journey Pro, something like that on Twitch. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not a Twitcher.
Now, there's another St. Louis promotion. Here's the interesting part. Here's what I'm trying to get at, okay? That week of wrestling from Missouri is actually huge because that's on Friday. On Monday, we're not going because you know our proclivity. But Monday Night Raw is returning to Kansas City. So, I mean, that's at least, that's nice. Good for them, sure. We're not going, though, because it's terrible.
It's god awful.
But for those who are fans of WWE or the kind of like the partials, the toe dippers in the pool, good on you. Go see more wrestling, sure. And then, but the night before that, so the 25th, which is Sunday, Glory Pro Wrestling, which is in St. Louis, has a show over in Soulard area. Soulard's the kind of the party spot in St. Louis. It's just south of the downtown core, right? Mm-hmm. And they got a show where they have billed. The match that I saw that interests me the most is one of their titles for Glory Pro is held by the mocha skinned manimal Rohit Raju. Still the best nickname out there. Still the best nickname.
It's great. It's great.
So he's defending his title against the very nice and the very evil Danhausen.
Yay!
Freaking Danhausen in St. Louis. I love it. Warhorse is going to be there. He's billed for it. Jake Something is going to be there. They've got Matt Flitchert. Oh, wow. One of the besties. I always butcher his name. I'm terrible with names. Flitchit. Okay.
Or Filchit. Damn it! Now you got me.
I'm sorry. It's spreading. I apologize. I'm terrible with names. Everybody knows this, but he's been billed for that. There's a ton of stuff, and I'm thinking in my head, and all Ego Ethan Page is going to be there as well.
Yes, all Ego Ethan Page. I was wondering if you're just keeping that one like in the back.
I don't have it in front of me, so I'm trying to all go by memory here. So that's gonna be cool. Now by then, Dynamite's gonna be touring again, so Ethan Page will be there and then gone probably Monday morning, right? But all those other ones, I mean, Warhorse lives in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. Gary fucking J lives in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. Danhausen and Warhorse are friends, and they have their co-gimmick together. So it's possible that could be a preview of some of the names we might see. We don't know yet. Like I said, there's been no announcement of any card for Journey Pro whatsoever. We're just playing fantasy booker right now based on what's going on.
We totally are. And so a few of the hits I would love to see there, to your point, I would love to see Danhausen and Warhorse together going against the besties. I think that would be great.
I'll go with anybody. I don't give a shit who it is. Just,
I don't even care.
See.
I want to see Laney Luck because I love me some Laney Luck.
She's great.
She's a great independent wrestler. If you don't know who Laney Luck is, she's on Ring of Honor lately, so that's been really good for her. So I'm glad to see that she's up there. Dak Draper is another one who
I'd love to see
a
Dak.
homegrown guy. He might be able to make an appearance. That'd be pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, see, he doesn't live in Denver anymore. He moved in with his girlfriend, Quinn McKay.
Maryland. He lives in Maryland.
Yeah, I thought it was Virginia. It's out east.
They met each other in Kansas City at NWL.
They did. I know that because she was just like training at the time. I don't know if she's from around here, but
she's from the Maryland area.
She's from Maryland. Well, I know Dak's from Colorado. He's from Denver area. And
hence the Mile High Magnum.
Mile High Magnum. That's why he is called Mile High Magnum. Yeah. Dak is fantastic. I love me some Dak Draper. It's like I got super amped for him when he came out one time because he returned, and I remember seeing him in NWL. So I'm like, this guy fucking awesome. And everyone's kind of like, we don't know who that is necessarily. And by the end of the match, everybody loved him, right? But I got super amped, and we were this is because we used to do this thing when they were at Kansas Hall. Jamie and I liked to get the tickets where we'd stand by the fucking entrance ramp.
Yes, yes.
So he came back out later, and it's like he kept going to me. Yeah, he's my buddy. We became buddies, and then we kind of broed out after the show. Is all. He doesn't remember me for shit. I guarantee you, if he saw me again. But I had a night where it's like, I feel somewhat important because Dak Draper remembered me. This is nice.
Yeah. And then the last one I would really like to see of the locals for sure is Hoodie Hallett.
Oh,
just because of the last way it ended last time, man. Want me some Hoodie Hallett. Now, if they got some national talent, that's another thing. But Hoodie Hallett, man.
Well, Hoodie's been in Ring of Honor lately too.
Oh, he has?
Yes, he has. I know he has. I don't know if it's just appearance or extra work or what, but he was been in some stuff. I seen Quinn actually tweet out at a Ring of Honor show where he was there, and he was so. Who knows? He's been wrestling for a while. He's not like super old, but he's been through all the big circuits, right? He's been through, he was at Circus. He went through Circus, I think, at one point in time, and he was out in different California promos and stuff. So he knows people. So that'd be awesome to see. I gotta see me some Gary J though.
Oh yeah, Gary J. And Jeremy Wyatt going at one more time.
Well, they're going for at Anarchy's next pay-per-view. They're going for the Gateway title.
It's about time for him to drop it. And Gary J's
the
guy who needs
almost 3 years.
Yeah. Hey, Bruno Sammartino.
Right.
He wants his gimmick back.
Okay.
Well,
we'll see. Like I said, we'll see when it comes up. We're just fancy booking right now. Lots of possibilities. The bottom line is it doesn't matter who's on the card because it's gonna be fun time. It's gonna be a great time, and we're gonna see all the people that we are familiar with because there's like this group of people that none of us know each other's names, or few people do, but we all know each other as Journey Pro people.
Yeah, like I was friends of Dallas Cade's dad. Like him and I started talking.
I know,
and then we started becoming buddies. It's like every time we see each other, hey, what's up? And then that's about it.
That's literally it. There's that one. There was one chick that always sat up front there. I think she's the Asian girl that she just yeah. It's like you see her randomly, but I know who that is, and it's just that's it. It's just, but yeah. So it'd be cool to see our Journey Pro fans. So we'll keep you updated. We'll provide you. We think next week we'll have an idea on that promo or.
Yeah, I will know more next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get something done within the next few weeks to set that up. But
so the next couple of weeks we'll give you an update. We're getting tickets tomorrow, so let's make sure we get tickets first. I mean,
tickets number one.
I don't think it'll sell out immediately, but I'm also not promising that it won't because.
Well, tickets go on sale noon, and I'm going to be on there right at noon. I've already booked myself a lunch. I booked myself a lunch just to do this.
Good for you, because I actually have a training meeting around that time. So thankfully you're doing that. So we have tickets, and you have tickets. Cool. So that's Journey Pro. We'll talk a lot more when we get an update from the owners. We're gonna do an interview, like we said. We'll let you guys know for sure. We're gonna geek out a lot on Journey Pro. Expect a full recap post every show that they do. We're dedicated local wrestling, as everybody
100%.
should be. So let's change it up. Before we talk about NXT, let's talk about some news that's going on here. You had a couple things you wanted to get to, right?
Yeah, one of them is NXT related, so I'll hold that one. But big news out of New Japan. I don't know if everybody saw this or not, but Taiji Ishimura and El Phantasmo defeated Sho and Yo to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships.
Third time they've been champions. So good on them. That's wonderful.
And it was on a road event, like the Kazuna Road event at the Kruken Hall.
Mm-hmm.
It changed there. Like it wasn't like the actual thing. It was it wasn't one of their main ones. It was before then.
Was this one it was booked for? I thought they was booked for one of the main events.
This was the main event of this show. So other one was because remember last week or not last week, but it was last week, or was it? No, it was just 2 days ago. I talked about how they announced the title matches, and this is one of them.
There you go. Quick turnaround by New Japan. I mean, why waste time, right?
Bullet Club has gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
Bullet Club
God. That's great, man. I love me some El Phantasmo. That's wonderful.
Same. And Taiji Ishimura.
Oh, he's great, too.
Ishimori.
He's very good. He's very good.
Yes.
Well, that's good for him. Somebody who might be looking for gold elsewhere is one Miss Mickie James. So Mickie James confirmed. Now, we had said a little bit ago when it was announced that she's going to be producing the all women's NWA, and they're calling it Empower is the name of the pay-per-view, right?
I love it.
It's a little on the nose, but still. But that's going to be August 28th in St. Louis. And then the next night is NWA 73, their 73rd anniversary pay-per-view. Well, she confirmed she's wrestling on that night, on the 73rd anniversary show. So it's not a surprise. The announcement was made there. Her husband's been NWA champion for like 2 years, Nick Aldis. So, yeah, for those of you thinking Mickie James is going to show up at Slammiversary, hold that thought.
Yeah, no. Hard pass.
Couple other things here. So a couple AEW related things. Tony Khan related, that is. So Tony Khan recently did an interview. And I think this is because I only want to bring this up because it speaks to Tony Khan as the head guy. And we bitch and moan a lot about Vince McMahon, deservedly so, and
100%.
and his cronies. But here's just one of the interesting things. So it was a podcast, Wrasslin', Rasslin, very nice, with Brandon F. Walker. His guest was Orange Cassidy and Tony Khan. And Tony Khan was talking about stuff that's coming, and he keeps teasing he's got a lot up his sleeve. There's some stuff that nobody knows. It's like he keeps like doing these like little hints that there's something that nobody knows about that's going to blow everybody's mind in the next year. And it's like, I don't know if he's overhyping or what, but it makes me excited to think there's something that because he's by nature not a businessman first, he's a fanboy first. I mean, I did read an article with his dad, Shad Khan, who said that he did not agree with AEW purchase at all, or investment at all. He thought it was a terrible idea, and he's like, well, when I die, my son and my daughter are going to get all my money anyway, so why not have them do what they want with it now? He's now happy that it's doing as good as it is. But anyway, Tony is definitely more of the fanboy CEO. So he keeps teasing all this stuff. And to speak to his nature, he was asked about, gimmicks and creative and things like that. And he flat out said that there's some stuff that he just doesn't like and doesn't go along with, but it's not his place to really object to it, too much. For example, he was not a fan of Matt Hardy's broken gimmick.
Interesting.
He likes the big money Matt Hardy, but he didn't like the broken gimmick. But he said that the fans thought it was over and it was cool, so run with it and do what you do. But just because I don't like something doesn't mean that I am the final word. And I'm like, there you go, man. So I dug that. I thought that was great.
So, speculation-wise, let's just get the rumor mill going.
Sure.
If he's got big things going, there's been rumors that Vincent Kennedy McMahon wants to sell WWE, and
that would be big. And
Tony's dad has more money than God.
He's got more money than Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah,
he does. He's richer than Vince McMahon. He owns an NFL and an English Premier League team. So, I mean...
Yeah. He's got money just oozing out of every
right.
pore of his body.
He's from St. Louis, too. Like, when he immigrated over here, they landed in St. Louis. So, interestingly enough. Just had to throw that out there. I don't know. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it legitimately. I think that if Vince does sell... We've had this discussion before, too. If he does sell, though, I think it's going to be something that he can brag about to all of his super rich white friends. Amazon, NBC would work, but Amazon, Disney,
Fox,
something like that. And speaking of Fox and NBC, they apparently are both not happy with WWE. Like it's a balancing act, this whole thing, when they signed up for the $1 billion they got from Fox, and then they signed up for another $1 billion from NBC. Yeah, they aren't happy. First of all, NBC was not happy that there was the Hell in a Cell that was on last Friday's SmackDown, right? And then they put a Hell in a Cell on Raw on USA. And Fox is not happy that they keep advertising for stuff on Peacock, even though that's where all the pay-per-views are, on Fox's network. So, I mean, this is a shit show waiting to happen. I still say, we both know this. Everybody out there, I'm sure you can agree. It's because the numbers have been down. Numbers are below 2 million for both shows. They never thought nobody thought that would happen ever, right?
Yeah, and Raw is consistently under 2 mil.
Yeah, I mean, it's like WWE. This is a stalwart. This is easy money, right? It's easy peasy. It's gonna do it. Well, it's okay because they are planning on doing a Saudi Arabia show this year. The word on the street is October. Oh, I know. And we'll leave it at that. One last thing on WWE. Two last things here. There's rumors that Big E's going to go over to Raw, which please do. Please do it. Yeah, he's still going to be a singles competitor, but he'll at least be adjacent and be around the New Day. The three of them together is one of the best things WWE has going for themselves. You have so much creative crap all over the place. Keep the good stuff going, And speaking of creative, apparently Nikki Cross's Superman getup or superhero getup, it was apparently her idea. That's what I read. So good for you, Nikki. I mean, I don't like it, but to each his own.
You know what? Just do it. She's on TV. I'm happy for her that she's on TV. Is it a terrible gimmick? Yeah, but we've seen
a lot worse. I mean, let's be honest.
Barbarian, Shockmaster.
Remember the what was that Viking they had the Berserker? Huss. That's all he said. That was the only word he said.
The Stalker, the Brooklyn Brawler.
Although there's some people who love the Brooklyn Brawler, the Repo Man.
The Repo Man.
The Repo Man was terrible. He was so bad.
Kiss Demon. Like, I could just keep going.
Well, they didn't go as far in the bad talent department because last bit here, and this is, I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly because this is just gold. So apparently, I don't remember dude's name. I closed out the tab, so I don't know where it went, but apparently there was a guy who pitched, and I don't remember when this was. This was a while ago, is what it sounds like. But there was a guy who pitched Vince McMahon an idea. This is back when Paul Heyman was, I think he still had the ponytail, but he was like kind of, like in charge of running people and stuff. They pitched that this guy would basically be, oh my God, and he was in front of the board too. He'd basically be like Encino Man-esque, cryogenically frozen Nazi hitman, complete with gray suit, red armband, swastika, and goose step to the ring. A legit Nazi. A Nazi. They legit pitched him a Nazi. And Paul Heyman, who, I don't know if you know, everybody's familiar with Paul Heyman, probably the most Jewish person in all of wrestling. And, for what it's worth, he's very proud of his heritage. He would be his manager. And apparently this guy was amazed when Vince literally left the boardroom without saying a word, fired him like 20 minutes later. So there's some restraint, okay? There's some restraint on Vince. I mean, that's an easy line to draw. Nazi, right? That's an easy one to draw. But at least he did draw it, so.
Cryogenically frozen Nazi
that came back to life, and then it's like, yes, it is. I can't remember who the dude was, but it was like some big guy, and it's like, yes, a legit Nazi in the early 2000s, early 2010s, something like that. I think is what it was, like 2009, 2010, something like. Yeah,
I can't stop saying wow.
What else do you say? So when you think about that, what could have been, Nikki Cross, you're right. She's on TV, so good on her.
Yeah, she's not a cryogenically frozen Nazi hit woman who's been brought back to life.
Yeah, and ironically managed by a Jewish person, which is just.
That's just so terrible.
I would love to be a fly on the wall, just thinking like, why are you even saying these words? It's like, how is this?
Like, that makes no sense.
It makes none. I mean, it makes no sense now. It makes even less sense now. I don't know. I don't know. It always can be worse. I guess that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, it definitely could be worse.
You had some other bits, didn't you?
I just had this one little small AEW bit. One of our favorite Japanese women wrestlers, no, not Maki Ito, but Yuka Sakazaki is going to make a little run in July with AEW. So she's going to be coming back and doing some live shows.
Good.
And stuff with Yuka Sakazaki. We really like her.
I like Yuka Sakazaki.
I like her a lot. I think she's her springboard 450 is a thing of beauty, actually. But she's no Maki Ito in my heart. But she's a second. I won't even say she's a close second, but she's a second.
Okay.
But yeah, so she's gonna be coming back, and I'm excited about that because she is good. So another strong woman talent that's coming back. Is that the surprise that Andrade El Idolo talked about? No. I think I'm
holding firm on Thea Trinidad until I hear otherwise.
I am too.
I don't know who else it would be. I mean, I thought, because I legitimately wanted to give it some thought, and I'm like, okay, let's think outside the box. He's very big on, it's almost like a Legado-esque, this kind of like Mexican heritage. Because really, if you think about it, Santos Escobar and Andrade El Idolo are very similar characters, right? The Mexican, they both are a strong lineage of Mexican wrestling, lucha libre, So I'm like trying to think, who could he be bringing in with him? And I'm like, I don't know of any big name Mexican stars that would get a splash in America that are out there,
I mean, the only one that people know is currently in jail for beating women.
I mean, is it who got released? Was it Kalisto or wasn't it one?
Yeah, Kalisto's out there.
So
from Lucha House Party.
But I heard he's going to do MMA. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah. It could be him. They could be forming with some more Latin people, so you might see Diamante get paired up with him as well, like her and Thea Trinidad. I don't know.
I would love to see like the refined kind of LAX, like mafia style LAX, right? Get in there, proud and powerful. Thea Trinidad, Diamante,
Mi Familia.
Oh. You should be in creative, Jamie. I'm gonna give it to you. That's
pretty decent.
Fantastic. Oh, so let's talk about NXT. Cool, because Tuesday night was NXT. You have number from NXT? You said you saw numbers, right?
Do you want to start with that? Because the show was not near as bad as what this is.
Is it that bad? Give me the numbers. What are they?
Okay, it's the lowest numbers they have pulled since they've been on Tuesdays.
Ooh,
yeah, they went down from almost 700,000, 669 is where they were. Sorry, down to 665.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. 669 to 665.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. 699.
Okay.
To 665.
I'm like, that's not that big of a dip. Okay, 30,000. That's a big dip. Okay.
4.3%.
Ooh. That's
kick
not
right in the nuts.
I don't get why, because I mean there was tons of pop last week after Joe coming back. I thought last week was one of their best shows they've done in God knows how long. I liked NXT recently. Anyway.
The only thing I can think of was Clippers Suns game 2, which was a banger of a game.
It was. I mean, I think that all wrestling products right now are being somewhat affected by NBA and NHL. I mean, last night, if there was a wrestling show on last night, it would have not probably done great because you had game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals with the Hawks winning, and you had a banger of a game in in Long Island for the NHL. So
yeah,
I'm still giving that a grain of salt. That's not a terrible number. It is not good though. It went down. It went down that much.
it could be a lot worse for sure.
It could be. They could be getting Impact numbers, which I hope to God Impact's numbers have to rebound because. Oh, well, anyway, Summerverse is coming up. We'll talk about Impact on Tuesday. So this started off with Adam Cole coming out and doing great Adam Cole things, and it hit me. Okay, his music we agree we don't like, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
I listened to it extra close when I was watching it Tuesday night, and I figured it out. I don't mind the music. I actually would rather like the music if it was done with the proper instruments. It's all like digital fake guitars.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's all like it's not, I'm not saying it's an EDM song, but it's got this plasticky feel to it. Whereas if you took that exact same songs and you did like with a band with like, 2 guitars and a bass, and it was an actual rock version of it, kind of like what Undisputed Era's song it would sound immensely better. So that was my thought. If you listen to it sometime when you get a chance, or next time you hear him, see him on in a match, listen to the music and think about that, because you sit there and you're like, that's not a real guitar. That doesn't sound like it's like a machine trying to sound like a guitar, and it sounds just cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Okay.
So that's what I thought. As I heard that.
Okay.
Yeah, he came out. He said he wasn't going to do anything. It's his show, blah, blah, blah. And then he's greeted by Carmelo Hayes, who's been newer. I think he debuted 3 weeks ago, something like that. He was on the indie scene before, and they put on a nice little match to kind of open things up. It ended with one of the better sells I've seen in a while. It was the Panama Sunrise, which is Adam Cole's drop-down Canadian Destroyer. And as he finished it, Carmelo literally stood on his head right there in the pile drive position for what felt like a minute, and then fell over. It was a fantastic sell by him.
That's awesome.
Adam Cole gets the win, and then you go to a bunch of promos. So the first third of the show was promo heavy. And that's sometimes NXT does this. They'll strategically place their promos in like a certain segment and shuffle it up. So it's not always like AEW, as much as we love them, is very predictable, like you said, in their format. Match, promo, promo, match, promo, promo, match, promo, promo. So NXT, to their credit, they mix it up. So they kind of bunch of several promos together and put them either at the beginning, in the middle, or not usually, but sometimes like near the end. So they had several promos together here. They had Frankie Monet backstage talking to Jessica Mea and Aaliyah, who they're going to form a faction and they're going to turn on Robert Stone is inevitable. She even dropped a name for them, called themselves the Winner's Circle. You guys going to win tonight? I'm going to win this. We just call ourselves the Winner's Circle. And then, of course, Robert Stone shows up. Like, what are you guys talking about? Oh, we're just talking about how lucky they are to have you as their manager and how smart you are to get them this match booked tonight. So, yeah, Frankie Monet's playing him like a fiddle. So, the Winner's Circle. I kind of dig that. I think it gives Ali and Jesse, instead of being jobbers, something.
Yeah, they are in dire need of something, because Aaliyah's actually a really good wrestler.
Aaliyah is very good. She has put her dues in, let's be honest. She's been in NXT for a while, and she's getting FaceTime, so you can't complain about that. I will say this: henchwoman's better than being a jobber. So
yes,
yeah,
100%.
do that. You had LA Knight promo, which I know you would have loved. It was
great. No, I did.
You did see that? Yeah, because I remember because Jamie's his daughter's in softball, so he comes and goes from availability. So he'll catch like bits here and there. I never know which bits you catch every night. Yeah, it was a great, like you expect, LA Knight promo. There was a Cameron Grimes promo shortly thereafter where he pulled up. He's defending, his, the honor of somebody talks shit about what's his face, Ted DiBiase.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is, like I said, they're not getting rid of this, the two of them, and they're going to string it along a little bit longer, which, whatever, I'm fine with. EO then, because they announced that the Robert Stone brand has got a match against EO and Zoe Stark coming up, right? So it's an interview with Zoe Stark where EO interrupts it, and because Zoe's trying to say, is like, well, she was my first match I had in NXT, and I just respect her so much. Zoe keeps playing this respect card that she's gonna make a turn either to be a super face or a super heel.
Yeah,
I think super face, but she keeps going with this. Everybody, like she greeted Saray when she showed up and just wanted to shake her hand and offer her the first match because she keeps doing this. I think someone's going to turn on her, just do her wrong, and she's going to become like super face, which is cool. But EO then walks by her and says, "I respect you. I just do not like you," and keeps walking.
Perfect EO, man. I love it.
It's the best version of EO because you can do this as a face with her just still being that like meh face. It's great.
Yeah, I respect you.
I just don't like you. And then you have
perfect.
You go back in the locker room. There's Cole after he's icing himself down, and he's mad that Regal comes up. He's mad that Regal made him put him in a match, and Joe did this and that, and he attacked him, and why isn't he doing anything about that? And Regal tells him, I recommend that you don't provoke Joe anymore. They did a lot of setup for potential Joe feuds in the future. He's not going to be just this bodyguard. He's going to do the occasional little match, occasional feud, which I love that thought.
Yes, same. It saves him so he doesn't.
Yeah, so he doesn't have another concussion and really fuck up his rest of his life. Then you had the Zoe Stark and Io Shirai versus Aaliyah and Jessica Maya. It was a decent enough match. Zoe and Io end up getting the win. And then midway through, yet Candice and Indy came out to watch what was going on, right? After the match was over, then from behind the announce table come out Dakota and Raquel, right? And they're saying, no, you're not jumping the front. We're number one contenders. We're doing all this. Then you had from the ramp was Ember Moon and a returning Shotzi Blackheart. And they were very weird. They were trying to do like real life memes is the best thing I can say. I don't know. They're trying to do like cool hip catchphrases, and it's like why? You guys are fine just the way you are. Don't whatever.
Yeah.
So then everybody starts brawling in the ring, and that brought Joe out, and Joe walks by, stops in between the middle of the way, and just kind of like gives Candace a kind of like side eye look, and then goes on.
Yeah.
They've known each other from independent days. And then goes on the ring, pulls out security guard, separates them all. Next week, you're going to have a 3-way number one contender match between Raquel and Dakota, Io and Zoe, and Shotzi and Ember. Winner gets a match at Great American Backlash against The Way.
My money's on Io.
Me too. Absolutely. I wish it was Io and Saray. I really do.
Oh, God, that'd be beautiful.
Maybe it makes too much sense. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Maybe they want Saray to pay some more dues.
Maybe Saray's got other engagements. Maybe there's somebody. I don't know. Maybe they think too, and I hate to even say this, but let's be honest. 2 predominantly Japanese-speaking women.
Are you saying that they'd be culturally insensitive?
Not the first time. Just saying.
I mean, they've done it for years.
Kabuki Warriors was the most recent one. And I loved me some Kabuki Warriors.
I loved it too. Funaki and Michinoku or whatever. Yeah, Michinoku. Yeah. Like, they have no problem stereotyping people anywhere.
They really don't.
Head shrinkers. Come
Now
on,
Triple
man.
H is not as much, and maybe that's why he didn't want to like open into that, a little. I don't know. But anyway, I would prefer to see Saray with Io. They were a tag team. They were Shimmer tag team champion, not Shimmer. They were Shine tag. Is it Shine or Shimmer?
Stardom.
Is it S? God, I'm getting them all mixed up now. Shit.
All these S's.
It's too many S's. Okay. Also at Great American Bash, by the way, you're going to have Ciampa and Thatcher. They're getting a tag title shot against MSK. So there's that. Then you have The Way comes out, and it's interrupted by Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan, right? And they're playing the high road. They're not going to get involved in this. The way Johnny Gargano came out to basically call out Karen Cross, this and that. And of course Pete Dunne came out and said, you're not jumping in front of me, and so they go back and complain to Regal now that he's on good terms with Regal. He even brought him a pencil to replace the one he snapped off in his face. And he says, I agree, something should be done. That's why you two are having a match against them next. Like, you should go get changed. So they had a match, and this was actually a very entertaining match. Johnny Gargano, Austin Theory versus Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan. Yeah, it's a good match.
I'm there for that one.
Good
Wow,
match.
that's a good match.
Good match. Ended with Johnny getting the win. He got the pinfall. Theory looked great in this match. He was selling the hand because before they went back to see Regal, he had his hand snapped by Pete Dunne's thing. So he gets the win, and then he gets jumped by Karrion Kross afterwards. Karrion Kross just obliterates him. So that's I think where they're going with this, and they're going Gargano Kross. I think that's the best way they can go. If they are legitimately moving Kross up to the main roster, I feel like Gargano's the best place to put the title because he's that in-betweener, right? Everybody loves him, but he's technically a heel. I think that's a good way to go. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, Kross is going to the main roster. I know this.
Oh yeah, him and Scarlett, like we talked about, check every one of Vince's damn wet dream boxes, and yeah, I mean, it makes sense for the title to go to Gargano, or I don't know, like that's what I'm thinking. Like who else?
Well,
who else?
Cole.
Really could it be?
I would say Cole.
Adam Cole. Yeah,
but he
that's
may be going up too. We don't know.
Yeah.
There's
no one else
rumors
is
that
really, truly
rumors
ready.
that he's going up, but I mean, there's others that are ready, but I don't think they. Yeah, I don't really. Pete Dunne. I don't think you drop it from Cross to Dunne if you're going to give him the belt.
I agree.
Kyle O'Reilly, I don't think is ready for it.
Especially with this whole Cool Kyle gimmick.
Right. He's still finding his singles chops, right? So he's got the wrestling skill, and I'll talk about that in the main event because my God.
Oh yeah.
but his character work as a singles needs work. And I think that what's coming soon is going to help that. I do. So I think that Gargano makes the most sense because Gargano's so flexible. Then that opens up Gargano Ciampa possibilities. You got Gargano Dunne, which is, you got Gargano Cole, which I would see every night of the week for the rest of my life. I mean, I just think that this makes the most sense.
Eventually we'll get Gargano Knight.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that one right there. In a year's time.
All the openings are there. I think that I believe that that's what they're doing with all this. It makes sense if you look at the way it played out. Cross jumped Gargano.
Yeah.
If they're gonna drop the belt, give it to Gargano.
Makes sense.
Then you had the battery promos again, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But it keeps popping in. It's up to 41% now, and okay, no idea. There's no context. It's just literally a battery icon with the percentage changing.
I think you were right on the Tegan Knox hypothesis.
You think that's what that is?
Yeah, because
Okay, we'll talk about it at the end because that ties into some other hypotheses we have here. So battery promo is still going on. Karrion Kross is rocking backstage, and he crosses paths with Samoa Joe. And He goes, and of course, Karen can talk a little bit, and so he pulls this. He goes, you can't do anything unless you provoke. Is that the thing here? Is that you just a lapdog or whatever? And he goes, please, let me get out of your way, champ. So they do a little stare down, walks away. Joe turns around, and there's Pete Dunne. And they just stare at each other for like 15 seconds. And it's glorious.
It's beautiful.
It's great.
It's beautiful.
It's everything we want. Like, that's the feud I want to see. My God. Frankie Monet had her, like, encore, whatever.
Yeah, encore match.
It was against Elektra Lopez, who I can't remember who she was, but she's been around the indies for a long while. She's pretty well known. I just don't remember her name right now off the top of my head. It ended up being a squash for her. Sorry, Frankie Monet won. Then you had Everrise versus Top Dollar and Ashanti the Adonis, who are part of Hitbo. It's simple. If you look at Hit Rose, if you look at their logo, the R, the kind of the arm of the R, not the straight up part, but the arm of the R, it curves back in to that. All the other letters on the word bow curve away. If they just turn that curve, it would look like an R and not a B, and JJ wouldn't be having a fucking aneurysm every time he sees it. My high school journalism teacher would be looking at that and saying that typography is wrong. Okay, and I think that's what it is. It's just ingrained in my skull. So, there's apparently a feud with Everrise because they become the slapstick comedy bit, which fine, whatever. Hit Row looks great though, and I did call them Hit Row, so whatever. They look great. Top Dollar, I love. I read a thing that said that they actually had this. So the guy who plays Top Dollar, Shantae, and whatever her name is, like they were all in the indies together, where they started this whole idea of this kind of Death Row-esque thing because he looks like Suge Knight, right?
He really does.
And he said that all three of them actually do hip hop. They all have released albums. The girl has apparently 3 or 4 albums and a couple gold records. Yeah. And they said so. They brought it in, and Triple H actually is the one who offered, hey, we think you need another person. What do you feel about Swerve? And they're like, well, we kind of know him. We talked to him, and Swerve actually does rap, is what I read. So they fit together. So this is a great faction. My proclivities to their logo aside, it's a great faction. I like where they're going with this. I think it's
100% agree.
I think this is good. I think this is good for the future. And it gives Swerve finally something other than just being a guy, right? Because all he was. He was just a dude. Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly was your main event, non-title match. And my God, was this fan-freaking-tastic. This match was
had everything you wanted.
It was at least a Spotfest. This match was. It was unbelievable. Everything you wanted. Kyle O'Reilly ended up getting the win in a way that did not put down or did not bury Kushida in the least. Right? It was very clear what it was. Afterwards, the two of them do a little bro out. They hug. Mutual respect, much respect. Right? And then Kyle gets jumped by Adam Cole. It's not going to end. Their match at Great American Bash should be freaking stellar too. So they brawl over by the announce table, then off into the way because she is in the ring, and boom, he gets jumped by the Diamond Mine. So the Diamond Mine was revealed. It is a faction. It's not a Raw Underground thing like one of the rumors said. It is a faction. It's a group of people, right? And those people included Malcolm Bivens as your manager, Hideki Suzuki,
which was unnamed. They did not give him a name, so he's going to go through a name change.
He's going through a name, but that's who he is. He's not a legend, but he's a very well-known and well-respected Japanese wrestler who signed on one of the most recent classes as a trainer-esque role for the Performance Center. So I think he's going to be like a coach sort of thing. Yeah, Malcolm Bivens' former protege, or still kind of, but his former meal ticket, if you would, of Tyler Rust, who looked good. He looked fine. And their new leader, Roderick frickin' Strong.
I don't like it.
You don't like this in the least. Really? Okay.
Because what does it do for Roderick Strong?
It gives him a faction.
Yeah, but he just came out of a faction, and he said he didn't want to deal with it anymore. Next thing you know,
That's kayfabe.
he's in a faction.
But here's the thing. He's leading the faction now.
Is he, though?
Well, Malcolm Bivens is technically your manager, so he's the mouthpiece. Okay. Roderick Strong has always had the wrestling chops, but they could never get like fully over on his own, right? That's like the war he had with Undisputed Era before he joined the UE and all that stuff. You know, he can never get the title. He can never get over the hump. He was best when he was in Undisputed Era. He's best in a faction, much like I think Kyle O'Reilly is best in a tag team because he's a tag team wrestler.
Yeah.
And poor Bobby Fish, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but, I think that he's better in a faction. I think that it gives Tyler Russ a chance to actually develop instead of trying to be like him by himself is not worth watching, right?
No.
But in a faction, he may be. You never know. If he's part of a guy, he can grow and he can eventually move on from there to different things. I'm interested to see where this goes.
I will give it the benefit of the doubt, but if it does not benefit Roderick Strong, I'm going to be pissed off about it. Because Roderick Strong, as we all know, is one of the best wrestlers in the business.
The Messiah, the backbreaker.
Yeah, like he is just great, but he can't get over on his own. To your point, is this the right move for him to put him with a guy who looks like the saxophonist singer guy from Lost Boys, and Malcolm Bivens, who actually he's decent on the mic.
He's great on the mic. His Twitter is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's fire on Twitter. Yes,
yeah. And his feud with Mia Yim is definitely worth a follow for those of you who are not in the know. Check it out.
Yeah. So
I want to see what it is. This is not what I was expecting at all. I did drop.
Yeah, exactly.
I dropped the suggestion last week that hey, it could be that Roderick Strong is part of the Diamond Mine, and
I'm like, no.
You're like, no,
no.
I thought it'd be Roderick and Marina together.
Same. I figured. And why? Okay, can we just talk about this for a second? What is the deal with factions right now, not including women?
I don't know. Hit Row's the only one.
It drives me nuts. Like all of them, all the factions lately. If there's a new faction, no women in it.
Yeah,
it's like the fuck, man. Like back in the day, that was some of the best things. Like DX had China, hell, even NWO had a couple of ladies. Obviously, they weren't really wrestlers back in the WCW days, but you know what I'm saying? Like aces and eights. Aces. We hated aces and eights. We hated it.
I liked it for a hot second. Then it got bad real fast.
Real fast. Bullet Club has got a couple that are. Because they're in Stardom.
They're
but
offshoots. They're not.
They're the offshoot. So like.
I don't see why there's not. And I think that once again, maybe it's something to the fact of trying to get away from doing a token because a lot of times what you get is you get that one woman, right?
Yeah.
So it's like your token woman, right? There's your token woman in the faction, I think that maybe they're trying to be too woke and are like, no, we don't want to. I don't know. I don't know why you don't have the women involved. At least a little bit. It's not that offensive. I like it better.
Have a couple women in it.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate a woman faction just as much as a men faction, but why can't you just have a faction? Period. A stable of men and women.
Well, you say let's take Diamond Mine because it's the freshest. Okay, first argument. Maria Shafir, that makes sense because you got Roddy, you got her husband there.
Yeah, right.
And then they broke kayfabe on that in context of NXT that yes, they are married. Yes, it's not like an unknown thing. Well, Jessamine no longer is a wrestling talent for WWE. So who would you have along with Marina? To be there with her. Somebody random.
Yeah, Gigi or Cora Jade, maybe somebody young to get a rub.
But what's the fit? I don't disagree with you. I think though that I don't see why they don't do it. Like, we remember when Io Shirai turned, when she turned on Candice, for those of you who don't remember, and she went to this dark, the Joshi Judas, the character she's become today. And we said she'd be great as part of Undisputed Era. That was right at peak Undisputed Era. That was at like them reaching the prophecy of gold, and it's like you add Io Shirai to Undisputed Era. I don't know. I don't know why there's not women involved. I'm with you. I think there needs to be. But that aside, I'm intrigued by this. I like me some Roderick. I think with a mouthpiece and with even warm bodies behind him, I think it's got the ability to go somewhere.
Maybe. Yeah.
You have built in. You got two guys immediately that they can feud with. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Looks like he's going to go after Kushida first, right?
Yeah. That's fair.
And I don't know if Hideki's going to wrestle or not.
I don't either. Like, is that a thing? Is it not a thing?
If he does, it'd be cool, but I don't know how much he's got in the tank. He signed on with NXT to be a coach. Remember, NXT also did try to interview Thunder Rosa as a referee. So take that with a grain of salt, baby. He actually is going to wrestle. I don't know. And there's a possibility. I mean, we've got Lone Star out there. What if Lone Star joined them?
Lone Star.
When he gets healthy. I mean,
maybe.
And you can put it up this way. Diamond Mine. What is a diamond? A diamond is coal that under pressure is formed into something beautiful. Maybe this is Roderick Strong. He's just done with it. He left. That was his whole thing when him and Marina left. Like, I'm just done with it. I'm over. Maybe this is his time to mold these young stars into the trained killers that they should be. That's why he has Hideki, because he's the Diamond Mine trainer, and he's going to be the one molding Tyler Rust and maybe some of these young stars. That's at least a good starting story point there if they go with that. I don't know. Let's see where it goes. I'm intrigued. I'm not hating it yet. But that does mean that the battery is definitely not Roderick Strong and Marina Shafir coming back.
Yeah, it sucks. That's what I was really hoping.
So you said Tegan. You think Tegan's involved in the battery?
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Because who else would be coming back?
I don't know. I mean, in the battery, recharge, renew. Mm-hmm. Battery also kind of goes with her whole like Captain Marvel shtick that she's into, because she's recharging her powers. I'm sorry. If I get to see Dakota Kai turn and become face, and then see Tegan Knox come back and debut heel, I don't know. I might just lose my mind.
Like legit have them role reverse.
That was such a good idea. I can't remember who gave me that idea first, but that's such a good idea. I would love it.
Mm-hmm. Same. I'm for it.
That was NXT. NXT was a pretty good show despite the ratings.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to give it a rating this week here. I'm not going to give it a ranking. I'm trying to think. Well, I think I have to, don't I? Okay. I'm going to go with Snooze Fest. Even with everything.
Yeah, that's where I was.
First of all, I was going to give it a Squash Fest for that Kyle O'Reilly match because that was fantastic. And, you had The Way versus Pete Dunne. That was great as well. But there was a lot of promos, even though a lot of them were good. I enjoyed them. It was a lot of promos. The Diamond Mine's kind of up in the air-ish. We don't really know. And they're doing tons of setup for Great American Bash. So, I'm gonna give it a Snooze Fest.
Fair. Okay, yeah, I'm right there with you. Snooze Fest. I thought it had two stellar matches, some meh, and then some more meh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. We got. So that was NXT for the week. We'll be back. We'll be talking about NXT again sometime next week. We're still kind of up in the air about because. Okay, so our next show is going to. And you have one more thing I know, Jamie, you wanted to get to, but just gotta let you guys know. So our next show on Tuesday is going to cover the Saturday night's AEW Dynamite and kind of some updates from news and stuff. We're not going to go into everything we usually do, like Impact and all that other stuff, simply because it's going to be ridiculously long. So next Thursday, we're going to talk about the Wednesday night Dynamite, the final Dynamite Days place, and we'll do like the second half of some of that news and other stuff. So I'm not sure where we'll put NXT in there. Tuesday, we just talked about it. It won't air again until after the show. So maybe next Thursday we'll get to it when we get to it.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
So you have something else you wanted to get to?
Yes, I absolutely do. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, 25 years ago, on June 23rd.
So yesterday,
one man created the gimmick that literally changed the face of wrestling as we all knew it. The birth of Stone Cold Steve Austin happened 25 years ago. 25 years ago, he said, Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. And then that's the bottom line because Stone Cold says so. He said all of his little catchphrases right then and there is the birth of the Austin 316 era. And honestly, the landscape of wrestling was forever changed by that. He got away from the ringmaster and went there. It's just such nostalgia, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a huge Stone Cold guy, as you know. But
I know it.
So you did the pick 3, right?
For those of you not familiar, we started the Impossible game, which was I did this thing last time saying you're on a desert island, you can watch 3 wrestling things for the rest of your life, and only those 3 things. What are they? So yeah, I did the pick 3.
So, okay. So, we're going to play a variation of FMK.
Oh.
So,
okay.
We're going to keep F as faction. So, you're going to faction up with them.
Oh, look at you making it all like PG and stuff.
Yeah, so F is faction.
Okay.
M is rival. We're going to call it rival. So, faction, rival, and then fired. Okay.
So somebody you're in a faction with, somebody you're a rival against,
like you
you're
want
feuding.
to have a good rivalry with, and then somebody you just want fired. Like
so, faction, feud or fired.
Yes, the 3 Fs.
3F game. We got it.
You ready?
3F game.
You ready?
I am ready. Give it to me.
Stone Cold, The Rock, Shawn Michaels.
Okay. And it's interesting for me. I'll explain why when we get done with this game here. When you give me those 3. Faction, feud, or fired. God.
Right?
It's another impossible game, man. Jesus Christ. I think I'm going to be in a faction with Stone Cold.
Okay.
Because we'd have fun together. We'd have so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would be in a feud. I'd be in a feud with Shawn Michaels and would fire The Rock. There's no way you can go there. Any way is wrong. But here's why. Me and Austin, we could drink beer together. We'd have a good old time. Faction for sure. The Rock is a lot bigger than Shawn Michaels, so I'd rather feud against Shawn Michaels than The Rock.
Fair.
All right. Do you want me to give you 3?
For me, on this one.
Do the same one.
I'm going to give you one.
I'm going to give you one.
So for me, I'm in a faction with Shawn Michaels because he did DX, and that was a whole hell of a lot of fun.
Okay.
I'm feuding with Stone Cold because that's just main event mania right there all over because of how good he was. And unfortunately, I'm firing The Rock. We're
both firing The Rock. We just want to move The Rock to Hollywood as soon as possible. That's it. Yeah, it's like,
I guess so. Yeah.
Go make 83 movies a year. Do it.
And so, folks, on this version of faction, feud, or fired, who would you pick out of The Rock, Stone Cold, and Shawn Michaels? Which 3 of those?
Wow.
And then, JJ, I assume you have one that you'd like to do.
Oh, I do. I got you here. All right. So, And it's going to be somewhat thematic here as well, okay? And this is going to give you a very good insight into what we were actually watching in the late 90s, both Jamie and myself predominantly. So my three are going to be Nature Boy Ric Flair,
Woo.
Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, shit.
I know. So here's your WCW variant, because I was very much a WCW guy. I got in hard. I didn't see this promo because I didn't watch WW. Like in the Monday Night Wars, I didn't really watch WWF for like a year and a half because I was like, no, I'm WCW. Fuck them, you know.
Yeah,
so,
I was a big WCW guy too.
I was
then,
NWO through and through, and then post Goldberg winning. When it hit the peak, after it started to go down, that's where I kind of opened up my horizons to both.
Fair. I think I was right there with you. So for me,
go for it.
For me, I think I would faction up with Flair. I think I'd faction up with Flair for sure.
Okay.
I would feud with Jericho just because WCW Jericho, Man with 1,004 holds. Like, I loved WCW Jericho, and then unfortunately I'd fire Eddie Guerrero.
Okay. See, I'd mix it up a little bit. I would faction with Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
Latino Heat.
Yeah.
I love me.
That's where I was wavering. Like because it was, just to be blatantly clear, no matter what, I'm feuding with Jericho.
No. There's no shot you're firing Jericho. I knew that it was gonna happen. I thought you would faction with Jericho for sure.
I'm a Jerichoholic through and through. That's why I want to feud with him.
So I'm gonna faction with Eddie Guerrero just because Latino Heat. I loved that Eddie Guerrero. He was, and once again, I'm thinking about JJ. I'd have a good time with Eddie. We would have a blast. Not saying that I wouldn't have a good time with Rick, but I'm going to feud with Rick because those promos, I want to hear him dig into me in early 90s promos. Like in like the AWA fashion and the Mid-South, style, just dig into me. That means unfortunately I'm firing Jericho.
I am hurt by that.
It's the impossible. Well, you want me to fire the greatest of all time and Ric Flair?
He'll go to WWE. It's fine.
So's Jericho. Jericho's going to go debut with his timer, Anyway, it's the impossible game. You can't. That's the point of it. So,
all right. I got one more.
One more. One more, then we'll wrap it up. Let's go.
Okay. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Demolition.
Oh God, you're going there already. I know where you're going, son of a bitch.
Legion of Doom.
God damn it!
The Dudley Boys.
Okay.
Give you a little bit of range there.
Oh, my God. All right. So I'm going to start off the other way around, okay?
Okay.
No, you got to say fire to the end, right? Yeah, okay. So.
Yeah, fire's at the end.
Okay. I'm going to faction... Well, faction with Demolition. A
Little Axe and Smash.
I loved Axe and Smash. And then they had, was it Crush?
Crush was in there for a hot minute.
Yeah, he was their third one. Anyway, I'll become
or Crash or something like that.
I think it was Crush because it didn't rhyme. That's why I didn't get it. But I love the SMM gear, which I didn't understand until later in life.
Yes, well later in life. Like, what the
but
hell?
I dug their look so much. So I'd faction with Demolition. I'd bring it to the 21st century, get actual pants would be good. I'd feud against Legion of Doom because, God damn it, Legion of Doom versus Demolition was some of my favorite things I ever saw when I was growing up as a kid. I loved them both so much. And yes, I know that 80% of that was visual because they were the two most visually striking tag teams in the 80s. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't exactly the best wrestlers, but they looked good.
They looked great. And that means, unfortunately, I would have to fire the Dudley Boys.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a tough blow. Now, what if I replace the Dudley Boys with the Steiner Brothers?
I'd still fire
or
them.
No. The fabulous Thunderbirds. Or the Fabulous Freebirds.
Fabulous Freebirds. I think I still have to keep my first Demolition and Legion of Doom. Literally were my 2 favorite tag teams.
Harlem Heat.
Oh, see, you're making it hard, man.
Or the Hart Foundation. See now, like, okay, well,
I can't change. I mean, I'm going to keep Demolition and I think I still like both of them more than all those other ones.
Yeah.
All right, what about you?
So I too am a huge Legion of Doom and Demolition fan. I would faction up though. With the Legion of Doom.
Okay. Get yourself some shoulder pads. Be like Be like the Georgia Bulldog football student section.
Yes, exactly.
As much as I can bitch and whine because I'm a Mizzou guy and Georgia's whatever. I do love that. I wish we would have thought of that first because that's great.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna feud with the Dudley Boys.
Ooh. Because the matches would be amazing, I know.
The matches would be
They'd
insane
be so good.
in the membrane.
So good. All right. So
and unfortunately, I would
Demolition's
fire
getting
Demolition.
fired. All right. Well, that's it. It's another variation of the impossible game, you know? Faction, feud, or fired.
And again,
what do you do?
Tweet at us. Put in the comments below who would you do for the 3 Fs of the faction, feud, or fired of the tag teams. And if you have another one that you think would be a hell of like an impossible one to pick, you know, like maybe we just do big men, Taker, Giant, Andre the Giant, and
Big Show.
I mean, Big Show get fired.
Well, how about if we do female wrestlers? What if we go Trish Stratus, Lita, and Awesome Kong?
Yeah, Awesome Kong will get fired out of that.
I'm trying to think. I know for you because you said that was your wheelhouse, the Attitude Era. I'm trying to think of another person to throw in there. I mean, Mickie James would get fired.
Yeah.
Would anybody survive beyond Lita and Trish?
Out of the Attitude Era, absolutely not. Like nowadays, though, if you threw Shirai in there, but
see, that's what we need.
Think about it.
I'm trying to stick in like the same generation. I need to mix it up more. I need to be like, like all right, who you gonna do? You gonna do Bruno Sammartino, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kenny Omega.
Oh my god! Bye-bye, Bruno. I'm sorry. I love
Bruno. Really.
Yes.
Really? The greatest world champion of all time. The man who held the belt for like almost 9 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Bruno. Just dogging. I might fire him too. I don't know. I'm not going to spoil that. But you don't know. You don't know. Let us know.
Gut reaction.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. Here's a comment down below or let us know, you know, who of the ones that we said would you fire? Who would you feud? Who would ever? And then tweet at us. Give us suggestions. Give us 3 names. If you give us some names, we'll play this again. If you want to give us names below, you give a comment down below too. But you can tweet at us either way, at Total Spotfest. Either way, give us a holler. Give us some names. We'll play this and we'll argue over it ad nauseum. So let's do it. This is fun. I like this.
Yes, this was a good one.
All right, we are going to be back on Tuesday. We will give you guys an update next week as we, should have our tickets tomorrow for Journey Pro. Yay, Journey Pro. We'll give you an update coming up here. We'll get more information probably next week about when we're going to be doing that interview. And then the giveaway is coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. And then we'll be back on Tuesday to talk about AEW's Saturday Night Special, along with everything else kind of going on throughout the wrestling world. So thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. Like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be around here. So give us a comment, give us a tweet, give us a holler, and if you can, like, subscribe. It helps out a lot. We do appreciate it. So, Jamie, why don't you take us home?
Well, just like you said, thank you, everybody. It's been fun. But if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 3 words for you. July 30th, baby!
Oh, it's going to be so good. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.